by the stars early light, what so proudly does when the lights brought começou mais um live stream. Começou mais um live stream. Sejam bem-vindos a mais um live stream. Obrigado a todo mundo pela presença. Ai, que doideira, cara. Hoje teremos patch notes daqui a pouquinho. Falta pouco para começar. E é isso. É isso. É isso. Boa tarde. E aí, Dudu, André, João, Luana, Raidi, Vitor, Anitudo, Jaqueline, MTUs, Gus Joy, o André, tá todo mundo aí. Todos prontos. O Eduardo também tá lá na Twitch. Então vamos para o patch note daqui a pouquinho. Vai ser revelada a skin do Vulcano, vai ter um skin da Isis. Acordou minha namorada com esse grito aí. Nem foi grito. Vai ter patch note hoje. Falei, Ariel. Oi, Dad. Eu não sou pai de ninguém. Não sou pai de ninguém. E aí, baixa a memória. Salve, Dudu. É a chaleira, cara. Eita porra, 17 minutos para o patch note. O que a gente pode fazer em 17 minutos? Se é que a gente consegue fazer alguma coisa em 17 minutos. 17 minutos a gente pode fazer tanta coisa, né? Qual o seu personagem preferido do Smite? Atualmente Barão Samed. E aí, Cigana, boa tarde. Boa tarde, Kelvin. Kelvin Klein. Ou é Kelvin Klein? Calvin Klein. Falei, Junior. Onde você tá vendo isso? Onde eu tô vendo o quê? Os chats pelo YouTube. Mas eu tô na Twitch também. Falei, Yuri, boa tarde. Vem. Fala sobre seus fatos sexuais bizarros. Não posso contar as intimidades aí. Isso daí é coisa íntima. Íntima. Fala, Yuri. Vai rolar um churrascão na sua casa hoje? Vai não. Será que a Era vem hoje? Não. Falei John Sá. Falei Valkyria. Salve, Loendrio. Qual eu compro, Barão ou Ratatoski Barão? Falei, Vitor. Boa tarde, Pedro Silva. Rodrigo também. Qual o PC ideal para rodar Smite de boa? Depende, o melhor de todos. Você roda Smite de boa, é o melhor de todos. Mas você pode pegar outras configurações menores, mais baixinhas e rodar, depende. Era uma avenida qual patch? Não é nesse. E Júnior Queiroz? Aquele ali atrás cabelão é quem? Eu acho que é o Hades. Que horas começa? Daqui a pouco. Falei, Luan. Perdeu muita coisa não, Henrique. Começou agora. Começou agora o nosso Patch Noites. Boa tarde, Glederin. Boa tarde, Sirius Viadão. Eu sou o pai, aquele viadão. Boa tarde, Gustavo Bastos. Boa tarde, Born to Be Way. E aí, Thanos. Ribô ou Ribô naquela skin? Pode ser que seja o Ribô também. Reboa. Vai mostrar ela hoje? Eu acho que não vai mostrar ela não, entendeu? Teremos sorteio, a Rairaz mandou os códigos e infelizmente só veio o código do Jano. Só veio o código do Jano e um código da nova aventura. Eu vou ativar esse na minha conta E vou sortear o código para PlayStation e Xbox One, tá bom? E vieram vários códigos de Jano. Obrigado pelo follow. Me engravida, William. Homens não engravidam, cara. Você não pode engravidar de ninguém, sabia? Assim, eu não queria nem acabar com a sua alegria. Homens não engravidam. Você não vai conseguir engravidar. Aquele lá atrás, Xenobog. Ah, é? E aí, Nayan Rev? E Adriano? Acho que as skins vão ser top agora. Sim, eles estão melhorando. Você entraria no meu grupo do WhatsApp? Falei, Cronos. Eu não entraria por um motivo, cara. Eu só tenho este número aqui. Esse é meu celular pessoal e, tipo, pouca gente tem ele. Se eu passo ele para um grupo, por exemplo, se eu entro no seu grupo, qualquer pessoa lá vai ter o meu número. E aí eles podem replicar para outras pessoas. E aí outras pessoas podem ter o meu número. E aí, né, imagina que loucura. Volta aí, não viu o miniclip que passa no começar... Hã? Que miniclip? Você acharia de guardiões com dano físico? São os guerreiros, né? Nyan have. Falei, Kevin William. Ué, Kevin William, o que aconteceu com você, cara? Você tá aí essa hora? Boa tarde, Rupi. E aí, Ricardo, boa tarde. O que você acha... Ah, tá. Queria uma skin pra Dagi, mas a Dagi já tem várias. Você tá fazendo live por onde? Só no YouTube? No YouTube e na Twitch. Exclamação Twitch. Boa tarde, Zagoza. É o Hades. Desanimado, Bennett? Com o quê? Você tá em casa hoje, Kevin Williams? Só relaxando? Relaxando e descansando? Só descansando e relaxando? Não, hoje não apresenta a Era. Hoje a gente vai ter várias skins. Deve ter algum spoiler da Era. Pode acontecer de ter algum spoiler da Era. Mas, obrigado pelo follow. Eu vou mudar esse alerta de follow em breve. Eu vou criar um alerta. E aí, Scoutfer? E aí, Lucas Becker? Não, tá, legal. Tipo, a gente tem minutos aqui pra conversar, né? Eu fiz aquele post daquela imagem que os caras estavam jogando na conquista e tinha quase 80 kills em 30 minutos. Aí teve um monte de gente falando assim: você tem que aceitar que o jogo é assim, que você está reclamando. Mas engraçado, tipo, na Season 2, não sei se vocês se lembram, na Season 2 a gente até tinha um volume de kills até alto. Tipo, não é tipo, o volume de kills não era tão alto como agora, mas era alto. E aí, Sir King, mas vocês chegaram a jogar na Season 2? Na Season 2, o pessoal fazia teamfight pra roubar a Erinha Dourada, o pessoal fazia teamfight pra brigar pro Gigante de Fogo, o pessoal fazia... colocava vigia pra emboscar. Hoje em dia não tem mais isso, cara. Falei hardcore. Eu acho que o Smite perdeu muito com essa mudança do mapa. A questão gráfica do mapa ficou legal. Eu gostei da questão gráfica do mapa. Mas a estrutura do mapa era bem melhor, cara. O que tá tendo no FDS do Montinho? O que é isso, Jaqueline? Vai mostrar um novo item hoje sim, Gabriel. Falei, Lucas Becker. Então, assim, na Season 2 o jogo era muito mais tático. Eu gostava pra caramba. Embora eu não gostasse tanto do design do mapa. Luiz acabou de perder um pentakill porque... Quando ele deu o quadro era F6. What the fuck? Vai mostrar um item novo hoje. Vamos ver se a gente consegue ver uma partida da Season 2 aqui. Enquanto a gente tá aqui, né, esperando isso daqui, né? Valeu, Kevin William. Obrigado pelo seu resub. 7 meses. Caraca, daqui a pouco nasce um bebê. Vai nascer com essa cara. Amanhã você tem prova de neurologia e não estudou? Mas você já não estuda isso? E aí, Periquito? O aviso de follow podia ser falando 70 kills em 30 minutos. E aí, André? Você acha que vai ficar a skin do Okwang? Vai ter skin do Okwang? Vamos pegar aqui. Smite Season 2. Vamos acompanhar. Com quantos anos você se tornou homenzinho? A gente se torna homenzinho. Como assim, Zagos? O que é isso? Se tornou homenzinho? Que medo. Qual que é? Eu não entendi a pergunta. Você poderia. Você poderia nos exemplificar? Vamos ver um vídeo do Zap, né? Ai, que susto, velho, que susto. Porra. Palhaço. Boa tarde, Sakura Clown. Vamos ver um vídeo do Zapman. Zapman jogando na Season 2 de Cronos ADC. Que susto, velho. E aí, Pedro Henrique? Jogando de Cronos ADC. Ter pelinhos no corpo. Ah, que isso, Agos? Vou responder isso em live, não? Que absurdo. Pra que você quer saber isso? What the fuck? Donate de R$ 100 eu respondo. Sou mercenário. Esse aqui era Season 2 pra quem não conhece, tá? Por que você não procura uma mina pra gravar junto? Vai ser OP. Arcana Girl está solteira. Eu não, eu vou ficar procurando menina pra jogar comigo, pra pegar elas. Que absurdo. Isso daí não tem nada a ver com nada. Uma coisa é o gameplay, outra coisa é a sarração total. Mortalha Vampírica já é feeder. Não, mas Mortalha Vampírica era legal, cara. Eu gostava. Ó, suporte e ADC já começavam aqui nos camp. Era legal, cara. Hoje em dia, por que o Smite ficou uma bosta? Porque hoje em dia o suporte e o ADC eles já vão pra lane brigar, tá ligado? A galera vinha aqui, fazia o buffzinho, às vezes tinha um invade, sabe? Era uma coisa legal, cara. Estruturalmente o mapa, né, a questão dos buffs e tal, ele funcionava. Eles tinham que voltar com isso. Gosta da Nox? Eu gosto, mas eu não sei jogar. Sabe, não tinha aquela coisa de o povo ficar brigando loucamente ali na dual lane. Ó, o cara vai fazer o buff aqui, depois eles vão pro buffzinho ali roxo ali e tal, e vai ficar por isso mesmo, entendeu? Não é aquela palhaçada, velho. Esse Sun Kong não sabe jogar pelo item inicial. Ele era metinha. Porque tudo que é bom acaba. Aí os caras vêm pra lane, ó, vão farmar, ó. Vão ficar farmando aqui. Ó, rola uma agressividade e tal. Mas não é aquela coisa exagerada. Você pode ver que, tipo, olha, a galera tá, tipo, numa serenidade. Você fez o push na wave, dá pra você pressionar. Não é que, tipo, a galera vai pular ali no meio igual agora hoje em dia e fica brigando loucamente. Falei, Vini Cardoso. 90% dos vídeos do Sirius é reclamando do Smite. Ressalva, não é reclamando, é analisando de forma crítica. Porque reclamar por reclamar, provavelmente é o que você está fazendo de mim, entendeu? Eu estou tentando encontrar uma maneira da gente refletir sobre o que acontece com o Smite hoje em dia e tentar melhorar o jogo. Porque se eu não quisesse que o jogo melhorasse, eu não tava nem falando, né, cara? Então, assim, pensa antes de escrever merda. Reclamar é uma coisa, criticar e tentar ver uma melhor maneira da gente evoluir aqui é diferente. E é bem diferente, cara. Muito diferente disso. E aí, boliviano? Ih, Gabi, você já era, viu? Se fudeu. E morreu aqui também. Até a trocação é diferente, tá ligado? A trocação foi bem diferente, cara. Eu sou instrumentador cirúrgico e a minha prova é de enfermagem. Kevin William, eu acho que você está mentindo, cara. Você não é cirurgião plástico? Tu não tem parceria com a Harez? Eu tenho. Tenho sim, tenho parceria com a Harez. O que você acha da Arcana Girl? Eu não tenho o que achar dela, por quê? Pessoa dela? Olha, o cara tomou um gank do mid aqui, a galera foi lá e fez as estratégias. Por que tem uma Athena no time? Athena Jungle? Agora que eu percebi, tem uma Athena Jungle, cara. Salve, Nico Wander. Temos um Athena Jungle, cara. Olha, o cara voltou pra lane dele lá, ó. Ele vai farmar o mid. Os caras farmaram a dual lane. Agora eles vão rotacionar pra alguma coisa ou não? Não vai, porque ele decidiu puxar a wave ali, né? Você pode ver, olha, ele vai objetivar a torre, ó. Hoje em dia não tem mais isso. Hoje em dia não tem a objetivação da torre, tá ligado? Quem joga de ADC hoje em dia, eles vão ficar esperando a wave de minions voltar pro cara ficar brigando ali. Antigamente você tinha estratégias no mapa, cara. Ó, teve pings lá no XPzinho, a galera vai fazer o XPzinho lá bonitinho. Caraca, tem uma freia na solo, velho, que doideira. Vai rolar uma treta ali pelo XP. Acho normal aquela treta acontecer pelo XP ali. Não acho tão imbecil assim. Acho imbecil quando rola essa treta aqui na selva generalizada a todo momento, né? A galera deu desengage, não aconteceu aquela treta perpétua que fica ali o tempo todo. Quando começa o patch? Daqui a pouco. Boa tarde, Renata. Esse novo dono Smite é de boa? É, entre aspas, a rareza. Quem dera eu ser cirurgião plástico, já estava rico. Eu tô sabendo, eu tô sabendo. Você é um cirurgião plástico, seu mentiroso. Você não é o Dr. Ray. Boa tarde, Tavera. E aí, Pedro? Já já vai começar o Pet Note, galera. A gente tá só acompanhando a partida da Season 2 aqui. Deviam voltar com o demônio do portal? Não, não deveriam, não deveriam. O mapa já é pequeno. Não, eu não tô jogando, galera. Só estou conversando aqui. Salve, Nico. Não, galera, eu não tenho o que achar da Arcana ou de qualquer outra pessoa, entendeu? Eu não conheço, não conversei com ela pessoalmente, então eu acho que ficar falando de alguém sem conhecer a... Ih, bota roxa, metinha. Ficar falando de alguém sem conhecer a pessoa, ainda mais sem a pessoa estar presente, é uma coisa totalmente antiética. Ao menos se você for zoar o Batatão, aí você pode zoar o Batatão de boa. Ou for zoar o Win com esses caras dementes aí, é tudo bem. Mas agora as pessoas normais a gente não deve ficar fazendo isso, entendeu? Obviamente foi uma brincadeira, tá? Sirius, olha o meu comentário. Ah, não, você sabe, mas não fala pra ninguém. Porra, quer ver ele? Isso acabou na Season 4 quando os buffs começaram a nascer bem mais depois de iniciar. Sim, é o que eu tô falando. Estruturalmente, o mapa ele era muito mais bem feito. Porque você tinha o tempo dos buffs, você tinha as paradas todas legais, entendeu? Tem o Kevin William e tem o William Kelvin. Tem o William Kelvin lá no YouTube. E Ariel, qual foi o melhor patch na sua opinião? Nem sei, cara. Dúvida, como consegue uma estrela maestria? Fala em bits, depois da maestria 10 a cada 1000 adoradores você consegue uma estrela. Dá pra notar que o gameplay era muito mais cadenciado? Quantos ganks a gente teve aqui na dual lane? Quantas teamfights necessárias a gente teve aqui no começo do jogo? A gente teve uma trocação na dual lane inicial, né? Depois a gente teve um gank que aconteceu aqui. Mas olha só como que o jogo tá se desenrolando. A galera tá farmando. Até agora nenhuma torre caiu por algum motivo besta, que alguém saiu da lane, abandonou a lane e tudo mais. Então assim, a Season 2 era muito melhor. A Season 2 era sensacional. Não há o que se discutir, entendeu? A Season 2 ela era muito melhor. Hoje em dia virou uma arena generalizada. O que você acha da Arena of Valor? Sensacional. O problema é que a versão do Switch ela é muito melhor e muito mais atrativa do que a versão para celular. E eu, sinceramente, não tenho vontade nenhuma de jogar a versão do celular depois que eu vi a versão do Nintendo Switch, cara. Qual a utilidade do cajado do feiticeiro? Estocar poder e HP. Você acha que a justa clássica vai ficar permanente? Estamos trabalhando para isso. Estamos trabalhando para isso. Quem são os seus mods? Alguns aí. Divine Uprising. Que isso? Que isso? Que absurdo! Salve, Vitor Silva. Quem é esse cara, Chubaluque? Unbelievable.
Good afternoon.
O áudio tá bom pra
Welcome to another
vocês?
update show.
Boa tarde,
This
Gustavo Daniel.
should be the time
Salve
of the
sem
patch
nick.
notes, so the update show, as you now know it, will be on from now on. So 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
O áudio tá bom
Eastern
pra
time.
vocês?
Over in Europe, it's in the evening, so it's a bit better over Friday night before you go out and get drinks. That's what you should be looking forward to. On this patch, obviously we've got plenty to talk about.
Tá baixo, tá alto, tá bom?
Patch, first of all.
Não vou mexer no áudio então não.
Fixes balance and of course skins, and part of those skins will be that Bologna tier 5. So stay tuned for that later on. But here's some of the skins you get to look forward
Boa
to.
tarde, João Vitor. O som está ótimo. Quanto tempo durava uma partida da Season 2? Em torno de 40 minutos por aí. Oh.
He's been cooking up a storm. I don't know any other puns that I can think of. You've asked for it, you get
legal,
it. There
legal.
he is. It's Vulcan. And he makes meatballs. Next up, Midnight Raven Isis. She's off to the Masquerade Ball, and you can be too if you purchase this skin. Yes, I'm in sales mode today, and as you can see, those lovely flavors will help you fly around the map in the most elegant of ways. Finally, in the Isis, we've got Titanium Tracker Jabelonke. He's very good at tracking titanium, or hopefully stacks.
Você está vendo lá o patch em live?
For him in this game. This skin will be lovely to look at a little bit later on. Look at that cute little scarf. And on top of that, the Admiral is here. No, it's not Akbar, it's Ao Kwang. He's got himself a skin. He looks almost human in this form as well. We'll see a little bit more of that later on.
Ao Kwang.
But certainly not least, we're going to have Heat.
Sim, essa skin do Vulcano é aquela que a galera queria há muito tempo. A comunidade insistiu. Aí eles finalmente decidiram fazer.
Like I said earlier, we'll be talking about the Bologna skin. Don't show it yet. I'm going to make you wait. You're going to have to wait for the Bologna skin, okay? That's what needs to happen here. But that's it from me for a minute, because it's the most important part of the show next, which is all about balance.
Easy tractou bem. Saudades quando você apelava de Isis.
Let's head over to
Quem sabe um dia eu volto.
and Pop Pop.
Thanks, Inda Man. It is me, Finch, here. What can only be considered an objective upgrade over Aggro, who normally is the one this patch notes show. So I expect it'll be a lot better for you all here today. But it's not just me. I am, of course, joined here by Pon Pon. We're going to be going through, you know, not just those bug fixes. We're going through some big balance changes here as well in terms of items. And with gods, the new item y'all already teased. And I'm loving some of these god changes too.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting, and we're gonna have a little bit of spoiler for some other future stuff too.
That's right. I saw that in there. I was personally very excited. We'll make sure that we at least hint.
Bom, vamos ver agora o que vai acontecer em nerfs e buffs, né?
Start with those bug fixes. First off, fixed an issue where ramp up CC effects were not applying diminishing returns in the intended
Pericles do Smite.
That sounds like a general bug fix, but probably a good thing to fix, right? If CC wasn't applying diminishing returns.
It's basically applying
Pericles
Chronos. So it does affect Baron Somnia a little bit as well, but the ramp up effect is now classified so that it's the type of CC it ramps up to.
Vocês já me seguiram no Instagram, galera? Serious,
It applied the diminishing returns that those.
Deixa eu tirar esse negócio aqui.
Essentially, Chronos was stunning in that
rapidinho,
stun,
né?
so that actual FOP stun was much shorter than it should have been. So now Chronos players will actually have the intended duration of
Por enquanto, só pra
fix for future ramp 2 effects that you might use.
That's a good idea. I mean, I feel like Emilito wasn't that strong on
não
Chronos
atrapalhar a
anyway, right? So
leitura
let's
ali.
just give him a little bit of extra love there, but that's not the only thing we're working on for today, Pon Pon. Let's take a look at the UI that we got some adjustments here with as well. Fix an issue where there was a few seconds delay after a time queue finished matchmaking, but before you actually went into the lobby, that was a little bit scary. Thought you were
like the heart attack.
Thought you're back in the queue again, had to wait again, but that should be fixed. Fix an issue.
Salve, Gabriel Arcos. A do Vulcano vai ser de graça mesmo?
So there's not as many masters.
Eu não sei, eu tô por fora disso daí, eu não tô sabendo dessas questões ainda não. O áudio tá atrasado. O áudio está atrasado, galera. Alguém confirma?
Was just showing as trifecta. That's one more that's been adjusted, and fix an issue where ranked quest progress was not being shown.
Vocês confirmam pra mim que o áudio está atrasado?
So glad we got that taken care of. Yeah, that's
pretty good stuff.
All right, let's go on Classic Joust. Looks like a efficient issue where tower collision would remain even when the towers were destroyed. I know there were some people.
Eles vão corrigir o bug da Justa lá.
That sort of thing. I imagine that issue should be taken care of.
Some. There's many tweets about it.
O da live deles.
It's definitely fixed now. The tower will go away when it's supposed to go away.
Deixa eu ver. Mas o da live deles, o problema é na live deles, não é no meu.
Now you all can go back to just not having fun in that mode.
É deles, não é meu.
It's in because the new Joust is better. The new Joust is better.
Dá like na live, galera, please. Ok, falei do set.
It is definitely, there's some relearning. Some gods you didn't realize were quite strong on there, I think. So
Vou sim, ô Lucas. Pode ir lá, cara. Depois você consegue acompanhar, ô Lucas.
Making sure that everything's working with her. First, the gold gains while transformed should now properly display on the UI. Added some extra functionality,
Bate palma pra gente ver.
Of the bug occurring where she has no abilities for a short time after transforming as well. So some touches being done here on the
Yep. Anytime I can go back and look at Morgan and find any bugs and fix them, it's always a good thing. She's a very complicated goddess.
Yes.
So, especially the ability to use your abilities like after you transform.
Quem são as skins da foto?
If it's delayed, if you
Da thumbnail do YouTube é da Belona.
That's nice. Getting her updated.
Belona.
One thing I think that was on here was that the fixing issue where the player camera would jump across the map for a brief time when transforming through her ultimate. So glad everything with her should be working.
Teve skin de quem ainda não foi apresentado, de fato todas as skins, mas vai ter skin do Kwang, da Isis, da Pele.
It's time to go to items.
Yeah,
and in particular, going to the new item.
Quem mais?
Yes. Berserker Shield.
Berserker Shield. I know you all were really excited
Novo
about this one.
item.
Get some spoilers for it. A lot of people, I think, kind of figured out the idea here, but this is one it seems like it's going to be kind of an auto attacker's item here, right?
25 poder físico,
Yeah,
15
definitely. And I think before kind of going
proteção
into
física, 15% de ataque
kind of a more
speed.
holistic approach to these kind of removed items that we removed from the game.
Osiris, né?
Back in some interesting way. Death Toll is essentially what this item was for basic attack warriors, and the biggest thing that Death Toll
Osiris,
caused
né?
that created a very difficult balance situation was how early you could get it. And so when we look at
Live começou que horas?
back into the
Às
game,
15h30.
that really liked it, but not make sure it's broken in the state it was before. We have to see what's really powerful about that. So for example,
Pois é, né? Tomara que sim. Osiris, Erlang, Belona, dependendo, né?
Weird to start because it's 1700 gold. You can't just start with it.
25 de poder, 15 de proteção física, 15
Oh yeah.
de ataque
For
speed,
example, that item was particularly broken due to how early
1700 de
as
gold.
well as how powerfully
E aí, Zagoza?
as well as how hunters have used it.
Olá, Luiz,
So
boa tarde.
maybe in some capacity we can look at that and try and bring that item back in a way that doesn't cause
Escudo de Berserker. Tá, mas é o que? Vai ser escudo
So the idea is sort of we still want that
possuído,
effect, we wanna be able to
amaldiçoado?
get
Como é que é?
playstyle, but maybe not
Tradução
as easily
dele.
as before. So it looks
Salve,
like this will be
Eduardo.
sort of along the same lines as Gladiator Shield, I imagine,
Yep.
with this price point and all that stuff that we'll sort of go through here. So I'll go and talk to you a little bit about it. It is going to be 1,700 gold. You're going to get 25 physical power, 15 physical protection, 15 attack speed, but I really feel like it's all about that passive. Hitting enemy with a basic
Passiva
attack
dele.
restores 1% health and mana. Basic attacks at all enemies in melee range restore 0.5% health and mana on every enemy after the first. So if they got like the cleave auto, I suppose, when that comes in.
Yep, and it's also a little bit more offensive than Gladiator Shield as well. We have the
Todos os
attack
ataques
speed,
básicos que
power,
você acertar no inimigo no
and that's
corpo
also
a corpo vão restaurar 0,5% do seu HP e
defense
mana
already in their kit, and so rather than amplifying that strength they already have,
em
we're
cada
trying to make sure that
inimigo.
you lean on that strength skillfully.
Depois do
and then
primeiro?
utilize this item well.
Do you think there's room to put both in there, or would that just be too slow for
Ah,
you?
decepcionou,
I think
cara.
3,400 gold for not as much sustain as you could through just raw mitigation.
Berserker é bárbaro.
You either use one
Ok.
better or the other better.
Sounds like you might
E aí,
end up having to
Firehead?
choose which one's going to work out for
Berserker
you
não
better. The
traduz?
Osiris is out there. Should be, I imagine, a little bit happier
Yep.
with this change coming in there, Pon. So
Pretty cool
that's
stuff.
the Berserker Shield. And you teased as well, we might be seeing some
Decepcionou,
along the
né?
lines of that golden bow, but without the
Fizeram
throwing
mó
dash
away
part,
pra
that
esse
was
escudo
really
aí.
frustrating, right? So hopefully we'll see that one out there later. But Gem of Isolation also getting touched up a little bit. Going to be the next
Nossa,
one.
nerfaram a gema de
So
isolamento.
on
Não,
this
não,
one, looks like we're going to change on this one, Pon. Why'd we go to Gem of Isolation?
So Gem of Isolation is just an item that's very
Não
good
tem
at
graça.
applying these kind of more tankier mages or the abilities for mages to really kite effectively. It gives them a lot of health in addition to that kiting power. It gives them a lot of power so that they can actually deal damage.
Adaptar para
It's kind of a
Fúria,
special item
pode
that's
ser.
really utilized well, especially in non-conquest modes. We see this item get picked up very often, utilized very heavily. There's a lot of high frustration characters in those other game modes that really utilize.
Já mostrou as aparências? Ainda
So
não.
we're focusing on what should its strength
Será que
be.
o novo item vai ser bom no Vamana?
The
Pode ser que sim,
so
Susano.
the utility is really where it's at. The bonus health made players too tanky when they pick this item up, decreasing the health a little bit so players have more counterplay options when trying to deal with someone who has Gem of Isolation.
That's right. It's all about, you should be making some kind of choice
Escudo
there. But you were kind of getting to have all
gladiador.
the utility
Yeah.
and
Era a passiva que era pra ter entrado
just that
escudo
health
gladiador. É.
decreased from 250 to 200 on Gem of Isolation, but the next one coming up is going to be Mystical Mail, another
Malha
item
mística.
that getting a little bit of love, getting buffed here. Mystical Mail now provides 20% crowd control reduction, so this is just kind of adding
20% de redução de controle de
Yeah, so
grupo.
we see people pick this item up a pretty
voltar a usar.
high amount, not like as most as like other items that we see. But
Berserker não tem
but
tradução.
it doesn't perform
Ah.
that well statistically. So
Sure.
we're looking at a way to kind of bring up its power level overall. And there's things that we've done in the past that
E-
result in high frustration. If we increase the damage,
Põe agora
it's very frustrating. We
10% de redução de intervalo, fica
the health it
ótimo.
provides and the protections, you become too tanky and you can just run into opponents. If we decrease the price or do any of those other adjustments, it can also cause some issues. So we decided to actually focus on what it really at its core is trying to do is give you the tanky stats to get in melee range and stick on someone. And so crowd control reduction to reduce the peel that people can apply to you seems to fit that goal pretty well.
And this is a nice one too, because crowd control reduction, it is certainly in the game, but it's not all over the place. It's nice to have one more area where you can sort of get this stat from, so I like that idea. Next up, though, on the list, gonna be Rage that's getting a look at. This one's getting buffed.
Fúria. Diminuindo o custo de 2.500 para 2.400.
This is just a decreased cost from 2,500
Ok, né?
to 2,400.
Agora a Maya Mist vai virar meta. Vai nada, o povo nem sabe o que é redução de controle, o povo é burro. Primeiro ataque básico vai curar 1% da vida de mana dos adversários. Ataques subsequentes irão curar 0,5%. Exatamente.
Should make that one that you want to pick up even more often. You want to get those stacks going as soon as possible. Next item on the list is going to be Talisman of Energy. This one's also
Talismã de energia, diminuindo o custo de 2.250 para 2.150. Ninguém usa isso, tá ligado?
So about another 100 gold adjustment, but this time on a bit more of a defensive option.
Yeah, so we looked at it at kind of like removing the passive. What it does give you health and magical protection, and there's other health and magic protections that just do what that does better at different costs that are more accessible. And so since it's on the lower end of that spectrum, we feel like we could bring the cost down so that when you want to pick this up as kind of health and magic protection item, you can, especially when you can actually utilize that passive component that really helps you enable your team to push forward off the minion wave. So players who can find opportunities to build this into the build.
Quem usa esse item?
Where they need magical protection.
Talismã de energia, aquele item horroroso.
In the SPL, at least, some people picking this up when they're going in for their like final sieges, that sort of thing. This should make it a little bit easier to maybe get that last push, go in there and even try and finish off some games. So I'm like what we're seeing here, Pawn. We got some nice item recaps here taken care of today. In fact, we can take a look just at the recap of all the items we've gone over. The big one, of course, was the addition of Berserker's Shield, that auto attack item over there that can help out some solo laners, maybe even some other applications, as well as we've got some other changes here.
O que ele faz? Se eu não me engano, ele dá velocidade, alguma coisa assim, eu não nem lembro. O item é tão ruim que a gente nem usa ele.
Those items can be just a little bit stronger. But Pawn, it's not just items that we're taking a look at today. We got some gods that we want to do, and we'll start from the beginning. With the A's up here with Agni. Looks like Agni a little bit of a
nerfaram o Agni, ó.
Towards rain fire. That's going to be the ultimate, obviously. Decreased damage from 160, 195 to 300. Looks like it's starting off at 140, going all the way back up through 300. So it's a nerf sort of at that top end at the very beginning.
Tá nerfando o Agni, palhaço. Obrigado pelo like na live do YouTube. Se você ainda não deu like, se você quiser dar o like, você pode ajudar o canal dando like.
He's actually doing well.
Yes.
Which is kind of rare for him. He's always seen as this kind of average character that fills the meta roles when he needs to. But he's consistently stayed in a very top spot for a while, and he's
cancela, para de nerfar o Agni.
Win rate, ban rate, and so the big thing we look.
Gente, dá like na live do YouTube se você puder, ajuda o canal a ser divulgado pra galera falar assim, nossa, aquele canal ali. Os caras estão divulgando o jogo. Começaram a usar demais, agora eles nerfam. Pois você vê, né? Nerfaram a gema de isolamento e diminuíram o HP dela. 50, eu acho, se não me engano.
And so one reason why he didn't want to do that was he's kind of bounced around the playstyle he has of not having mana on the ultimate.
50 de vida.
For example, he always kind of has to combo his abilities with noxious fumes, as well as it's kind of a unique aspect of Agni, a unique thing about that ability that it doesn't cost mana. You can use it when you use the charges. The charges are your limiting factor, not mana. And so we wanted to preserve that without making him too frustrating in other modes, or not other modes, without being too frustrating in the game. Right. And so the big thing here is decreased early game damage.
Nerfa o Totti pra ninguém usar aquela bosta, nerfa ele. Já é ruim mesmo, nerfa ele. Só pra ninguém usar mesmo, de sacanagem. Qual a diferença entre redução de controle e redução de controle em grupo? É a mesma coisa. Porque a tradução é zoada. A Patch.
That might come to surprise to some of you, but if you're in these other modes,
estão nerfando a Patch,
Joust, Assault, those sorts of places, a Patch can be really a nightmare to deal with.
Well, what's interesting is actually all over the place he's actually doing really well, especially since we gave him his more anti-heal focus on his ultimate. Right. That helps him fill this kind of conquest niche that he didn't really have before. And so that way when you pick him, you're very clearly sending a message of, I'm picking a widespread anti-heal, I want to punish healers. Right. And that's pretty healthy for him to be. But in those situations, we brought him way above in other modes.
Right.
Assault, Joust, Clash, even in Arena.
Obrigado por me ensinar a jogar de barão, só jogo com ele agora. Aí sim, Everton.
And so we're looking to do targeted nerfs to bring him down in those modes, but not nerfs that are necessarily going to undo what we've done for him in Conquest.
Well, let's go through them a little bit and talk about some of those changes. First, Undead Surge. That's getting an increased cooldown from 12 seconds to 14 seconds, so a little bit longer in between. Be able to throw those.
Tem que nerfar seus gods favoritos, o que dizer.
quite a few changes.
É vida, né?
Well, so this is interesting.
Yeah, talk to me about
this is actually a bit confusing for a little bit.
Yeah.
Porra, tão nerfando ainda mais
This is a change we actually did in
o...
5.13, but we didn't
Oh, so it's
see
already
it.
done.
So it's already there. He already has this in live. This is what people have been playing with since 5.13. It was a proposed nerf that we were going to do in 5.13, and through the 5.13 shuffle,
O Shulaim vai nerfar hoje, né?
we never actually did. But it's there, and we feel like it's actually
Vai nerfar o Shulaim hoje, né?
stats overall showing that he's doing very well with this nerf in place.
Well, there you go. That damage decrease that you're seeing on our screen, that's already...
Estão nerfando a pool do Sirius, com certeza. Nerfou o Agni, agora tá nerfando a Punch. Caraca, velho, aumentaram 10 segundos na ult dele.
Yeah, the amount of zone control this ability provides now, the amount of anti-heal it provides, it's a much stronger effect than our traditional 90-second ultimates. So we're just bumping up to 100 so that when Opwash chooses to play this down, if you are able to avoid it successfully or be able to get out of it successfully, kind of like back, you have more opportunity to get onto Opwash before he gets there.
Por que estão fazendo isso, cara? Que idiota, velho.
Getting some nerfs out here after a while, but he's been strong for a while, so I like that we're seeing these. But let's move on to the next god here, Pawn. Gonna be a hunter we're looking at this time. Apollo actually getting a little bit of love on
Olha, buffzinho na pós, isso é legal.
Is getting, looks like getting an
O que achou do nerf do Punch? Vou continuar jogando com ele e vou continuar ganhando com ele, mas é sacanagem o que fizeram com ele, porque o personagem não tem escape, velho. Você olha pra um Kushulain que tem escape, tem dano em área, tem controle, tem regeneração de HP alta. Como é que faz pra jogar, velho?
We watched how he performed with that as players tried to learn it and tried to utilize it, and it didn't really move him in an
Aí complica, né, velho?
one that we were hoping for to bring him kind of more up into line with other hunters. And so we kind of looked at what Apollo brings uniquely to the table, and that's is kind of these extra utility aspects of his kit. So Serenade, the Mesmerize, is a very powerful CC effect.
Acho que o Pompom ele vai jogar Smite qualquer dia e se ele tomar um stomp de um personagem, ele fala, vou nerfar esse personagem no próximo patch, tá ligado?
0.7 seconds is just a bit too short for that, as well as the attacks, or not the attacks, the movement speed portion of the moves. We're going to bring up at the early levels.
Buffzinho no early game ali do
Because even
Apollo.
when you hit an opponent with it and you get the buff yourself, it was only a 10% movement swing, which traditionally other abilities have stronger movement swings, especially the first rings.
That's right. This increased movement speed on the moves being increased from 5, 10, 15, 20 to 25% to 15.
Queria cair contra o Pompom, quero ver ele ganhar. Quem joga de Apollo, gente? Ninguém, por isso que ele tem que ser buffado.
As you said, now Mesmerize, or the Serenade rather, should be a little bit easier of a tool for Apollo to...
Sirius reclama de guerreiro só porque ele gosta de jogar de mago. Ah, esse é o mesmo chato que veio falar, merda, vou te dar timeout pra na próxima você ficar quieto.
Next, we'll move on to the next guy that's getting a little
Esse
bit
cara
of change.
não cansa de ser chato, toda hora ele vem comentar uma merda. Fica quieto aí, mano. Muito obrigado pelos likes na live do YouTube.
Passive was just a bit kind of generic. It provided a strong effect. But you didn't really play around it too much, and if you did, it wasn't the most impactful thing to play around.
122 pessoas no YouTube, obrigado pelos likes. Deem mais likes se vocês puderem para divulgar a live stream mais ainda.
We've now added to that, so it'll still do that.
Depois disso eu vejo vocês novos skin do Poseidon, mas só eu.
The free mana on is also going to be reduced by 2 seconds. So if you want to throw your axe down faster, use the charges on your axe. If you want to do the teleport and spin to get the protections faster, use that. If you want to...
Mas Sirius, o Pompom joga Smite, ele tem um canal aqui na Twitch. Mas eu tô falando, ele decide abrir o Smite, ele vai lá e ele toma um stomp de um cara, por favor, né? Faz esse cara no próximo patch.
Should help them out quite a bit. Not only is it going to be cast for free like they already have, but you're going to have a backup.
Comprei bolo de canela achando que era cenoura. What the fuck?
And that's one of those things. Chalk kind of feels like one of the gods that does almost enough. So maybe this help pushes him over that edge a little bit, right? He's right up at that line, it feels like. But he's not the only warrior. It's getting a little bit of love. Sun Wukong is also going to be getting
some vai ser buffado.
And quite some significant ones too. A couple abilities. Before we go into it specifically, do you want to talk to me about why we want to adjust Sun Wukong here?
Sun Wukong Jungle.
Is a character that kind of goes in cycles.
Aumentado o bônus de dano nos minions e nos campos de buffs.
He's kind of in that slump of not being necessarily in the middle.
Sempre joguei de Sun Wukong Jungle, sempre jogarei.
Come in, but not as much as we were hoping for. And so
the magic could go.
We want to be careful about how we give that utility.
Could go.
If we, like, for example, reduce the cooldown on the one, it becomes this really annoying poke tool that you're just constantly hit by with a little counterplay. Having that on the long cooldown means that you're dealing with that less often. You have more opportunities to get in on Sun Wukong. So, for example, we're not.
Na hora que você der aquela bastãozada. Já falaram do tal escudo já, foi uma decepção, André. Falei, Jenny, onde tem nudes teu? Aqui, ó, nesse celular aqui, ó. Sabe, Guilherme? E aí, Rodrigo? Você acha que Smite pra Nintendo Switch? Poderiam lançar. O que eles fizeram com o check? Eu não entendi muito bem porque eu não prestei muita atenção. Tem gemas de graça pro sorteio no YouTube? Não, Blindão. Você ganha gemas assistindo minha live stream na Twitch, cara. Bufando o early game do Sunirukuru. Explica as skins, por exemplo. A característica de cada tier. Fala, Yuri. Tier Recolor, só muda a cor. Tier 2 muda um adorno qualquer ali. Tier 3 já muda um adorno, a cor, muda um pouquinho da característica da habilidade da dimensão. Tier 4 já muda muita coisa, de repente a forma do personagem é diferente, as habilidades mudam. E Tier 5 o personagem sofre uma transformação. E Guilherme, perdeu o nerfs e buffs. E quais são as propriedades dele? Ele dá poder, velocidade de ataque e defesa física. E aí cura HP e mana se acertar inimigo com ataque básico. Tem que ser ataque básico melee.
That idea there on the Sun Wukong buff. We'll see a little bit more of him, I imagine. But I liked these with Poseidon. This one's considered kind of, I guess, a fixed buff, where there are some just bumps in here as well, but it's kind of just some change on it. We'll go through them, Pon, and you can tell me afterwards what happened here. The first one, we fixed an issue with Tidal Surge, where the moving deployable, which causes collision height to be shorter than intended, so that a little bit more efficiently, but also
hoje não.
in with the change to Kraken.
Deve ser anunciado em breve. Será que eles sabem que o Vaman existe? Não.
Yes, so multiple things that were weird here. One was the knock-up of the ultimate, which feels like a great setup for the one, was often not because you knock them up and then the Tidal Surge would go underneath.
It'd be like too high.
Yeah, and especially the effects, actually, the effects are low to the ground, so it's kind of, it makes sense a little bit. If you get knocked too high, the effects go underneath you, you don't get hit. The actual collision box is actually lower than those effects, so you're basically being extra punished. Now they better match that height, so it's more often that you'll be able to...
Preciso entender. Comprei uma TV de 42, aí sim, Zagoza, manda aqui pra casa que eu vou assistir. Vou jogar Smite nela. Tem que dar uma olhada nessas mudanças do Poseidon aí, se elas vão ser boas ou se elas vão ser ruins, tá? Preciso de um tempo para analisar essas questões aí, porque eu não leio muito bem o inglês.
Yeah, the skill is it was leveling up. It started at 300, 325, 350, 375, 400. Now it's just 375 all the time. So you should be able to get the same timing consistently throughout the game to always make sure you're able to follow a Tidal Surge. But that's a bit of an interesting one. You just kind of had to know before the line to time it slightly differently. But now you should be able to consistently hit all those abilities.
Yep. Once you learn it, you've learned
Tentei conectar o PC, mas eu não tenho cabo, what the fuck.
Should be a little bit more success than with some of those Poseidons out there.
Em questão de preço, Tier 3 são as de 400 gemas, Tier 4 são de 600 gemas, depende.
But that is going to do it for the gods. Let's go take a look at all the changes that we've made to him. Again, Apollo.
Não, o Poseidon não foi nerfado, não. Ele não foi nerfado. Mas tiveram algumas mudanças ali, eu tenho que ler direitinho. Porque agora as kills, assistências e vitórias não aparecem mais nas skins douradas, etc. Aparece. Parece sim. Tá dizendo que agora dá pra acertar a onda depois de levantar o inimigo com Kraken. Sim, e também teve aquele, né, o Kraken, se não me engano, eles mexeram no Kraken também, o dano dele, né? Sim, vai ser 375 em todos os levels. É um nerf no late, mas o early dele fica bem mais fortinho.
One thing you really need to know is that Apollo will be in every single game buying Berserker's Shield. Or will he? We'll find out. Now, though, turning to the guests on the set here, we're going to be having Isaiah and Alvarin join us from Esports and Community. How are you guys doing?
Doing very well. How about you, Hindu?
I'm not too bad. I can't complain too much. It's nice to be on the casual set again, not strapped behind the desk.
Comfy couches over here.
It's not so bad. It's not so bad. Alvarin, first of all, then, what's
Só a favor de Poseidon a DC total.
We have the fall split starting next week. We kick things off.
Com esse patch, o Smite vai realmente melhorar. Eles pensam em melhorar algumas coisas, né? Nem tudo vai dar pra ser melhorado nesse patch.
Okay, so we've got a lot to look forward to in terms of esports then coming forward.
Obrigado a todo mundo pelos likes na live do YouTube, tá? Já temos 135 likes e 242 pessoas assistindo. Muito obrigado. Lembrando que hoje às 18 horas tem live stream. E a live stream das 18 horas hoje vai ter sorteio de skin, tá? Então fique ligado aí. Você que não tem skin ou que quer ganhar uma skin, na aventura não aparece? Ah, entendi.
We also have HRX coming up. It is the fall split. It is the last split of the year, and we are
O Faraó Elix ou Belona,
so
não.
much closer. We are barreling towards the World Championship.
Essa mulher é a
and
Tina,
tickets
não.
are available now, so you should definitely get them while they're hot.
Skin pro Zonkui quando vem, não sei.
Expo.com to pick those up.
I don't need to be here. You guys can do this without me. It's quite easy. Yeah, harrisexpo.com. Don't forget though, we are.
Essa aí que é a delicinha que dá gems pra nós pegar na live. Gente, isso daí é assédio, tá ali. Pode fazer isso não.
Purchase there, especially after the party. So, enough about esports. We can do that all the time. Community, what's going on?
Well, like, not enough about esports yet. Like, we got a couple of fan-favorite esports players coming up in 5/16.
We do?
Depois que acabar com a insígnia, as molduras e ícones ganham vão sumir, não. Vou te pegar de jeito no amistoso hoje. Que isso, cara, que absurdo. Vai ter comentando o patch às 18 horas? Quem sabe? É porque não teve muita coisa.
But Jeff and Barrow announce a pack.
Yes, it's hype.
Is
so
it good?
hype. Yeah, it's so good.
I'm so excited.
Okay, I'm excited to see what lines they put in themselves, and because I know they're asking the community for some lines too. So we'll see how that works on. And talking about community, stream day is coming again.
That's right. A new
Não, eu não, Gabriel Silva.
community stream day. So next Tuesday, all you have to do is pick your favorite streaming platform, Mixer, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, stream the new Smite Adventure, and then submit our form.
Ah, hoje vai ter nova aventura, ó, vai ter o evento. Se você streamar a nova aventura, eu vou ganhar skins pra sortear pra vocês. Hoje tem 2x2, meu irmão chega de viagem hoje. Eu acho que não, Zagoza. Tem que me organizar ainda. Fala, Taiwane. Acho que o Havana precisa de skins, e você, Serious? Também precisa de uma skin. Também acho que ele precisa.
2x favor worshippers and XP just for playing in a party.
Esse final de semana você vai ganhar 2 vezes worshippers, favor e XP.
If you can call that
E
playing,
qualquer...
Playing some more of that, is that going to work out well?
maybe, we'll see.
Yeah?
I gotta prep for the split, but you know.
That's a good point, you do.
Yep.
Só me chamar pra essa aventura e nós comemos todo mundo. Impossível. Acho impossível. Fala aí, Gabriel Moni. Serious, me dá skin do Janos, vai ter sorteio.
Time though to move on to the skin section. Maybe I'll show you a little bit. I don't know, what skin should I look at for a minute? Let's look at Bologna.
Vamos ver a skin da Belona.
I was reborn from the flames of the Elder Dragons. They chose me to rally the strong and righteous and fight for all that is just at any cost.
Não, não dá pra fazer mistura na aventura.
Bologna have arrived.
Esse final você vai pegar 10 de Todd. What the fuck? Qual é a melhor coisa do jogo pra você? Cronos, eu acho. E Age of Suns. O evento Aventura da Justa Clássica vai durar quanto tempo? Não sei também, cara. E Serious 98 joga Overwatch? Vamos ver. Ah, não, chegou a Tina. Ninguém suporta mais a Tina, cara.
This is bread. Bread is my stress relief baguette.
It's a baguette.
So it's a loaf.
Do you want to feel it?
You're pinching a loaf on screen right now. Is that what's
Do
happening?
you want to feel him?
I have been off this
You
section
really Kelvin.
a few weeks and now you're on set touching
Feel
bread up.
him.
Let's get in game.
He
Let's
smells
get on
good
with it.
too.
Vulcan skin. You guys have wanted it. Here it is. Finally, community
Yes.
requested. How much work has gone into
Vamos
this?
ver a skin do Vulcan.
A lot.
Yeah, good. I mean, it's
All the spices, man. All the spices.
the whole team really went the extra mile on this one.
They can't see your hand gesture.
Tina, we're not on the screen right now. You just waving your hand
No one can
around
see it.
does not make any sense to those people at home. Oh, look at the oven in the background.
Ficou legal, né?
On the back, he's got an oven now. I like that.
So we made sure that you know the concept was done by Rob Draws, and the fans loved it. So we wanted to make sure that we stayed as close
Agora é a Tina, sim, agora é a Tina.
and bring it into the game.
Ok, ataque básico ficou legal.
Mm-hmm.
Ponto para Raires.
Look at that meat sauce.
Yeah, dude.
It's saucy.
It is saucy.
That makes a lot of sense. And the backfire too.
Ok, a habilidade do Leon também ficou bem legal. Ponto para Raires.
Is that like tomato sauce is firing? Or tomato sauce?
It's like a,
Fica saindo a fumacinha, tá ligado?
stuff like
Tomato, I'm
that.
sorry.
Ok, temos um moedor de carne, ficou legal também. Ponto para
Little
Raires.
meat grinder.
I was throwing like meat.
Oh, that's the next one.
Vamos zerar o Môndega agora que é na treina. Tem que ser uma Môndega.
Show me the real meatball, that's what I'm after.
Oh,
I think target her on that
Oh
too.
my
Legal.
Look at all the sauce.
We just
So,
forget-
for anyone who doesn't know, the Chef Vulcan skin actually did originate because people used to call the third ability a meatball because that's what it
Yeah.
looked like. And ever since then,
Legal.
everyone's always wanted the Chef Vulcan skin, and the
Now we have
community
it.
kept asking, and now we finally done it.
Now it's history.
The question is, though, what's the ultimate? I love how it looks like a dining room floor. Like the
Nossa, ele joga lata de tomate, é
Oh yeah,
isso?
the FX team got really creative with
Secret
this.
sauce, dude.
Ficou legal, eu gostei da skin.
There's nothing better than a bit of secret sauce, 18 now.
So the missiles are cans of spaghetti sauce.
Lata de molho de tomate?
Oh, what, sorry?
The missiles? Cans of spaghetti sauce.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, it is?
If you get up close, there's even like a Chef Vulcan like brand logo on the side and everything. Might be hard to see, but
Legal,
Maybe you can slow it down. Yeah.
his face is on the
Yeah,
side and everything.
Pon.
I was about to
Doing it.
call Pon out then, because he should be able to do that tech for
He's doing
us.
Skin é aquela que tu mostrou sim.
Can he track the missiles? That's the question.
Oh, look at it!
Pon's a
Catch it.
wizard.
Oh my god, he's getting good. He's getting good.
Secret sauce.
NA cameraman, please.
Oh, that's
Pon's
it's like
really good at
spitting
that.
out
É
like
queijo que
That is so
sai.
much detail on those cans that you can barely see during
We
it.
want him to go. We want to come correct
You
for this
artists go way too hard.
Queijo
Like,
que
so
sai
much
também.
can you
Extra
see
mile.
those little written details. It's great.
they just don't know.
A fumaça começa a sair só quando ele tá atacando? Sim.
Yeah, dude.
What's this for?
Se ele fica um tempo parado, eu acho que a fumaça para, né?
one. There's a whole pizza.
Ela para.
Bro.
Pizza.
He's flipping the pizza and you can.
Ah, ele tem um emotezinho ainda.
30 minutes or less, or you lose the match.
Legal, fizeram a skin bem feita.
I like that one. That's a good one. What else is this to do with this one? I heard there's also maybe a recall animation or something.
New brand new recall as well.
I mean,
Whoops.
That's really good.
like, was that
Legal.
going off as well? Well, I think you don't even think on this.
Batata palha no, na pizza? Não é queijo não?
They asked for it.
That's what that was.
It seems you wanna be tenderized.
Perfect.
Community asked for it. They got
Wow!
I'm glad the voice box sounds exactly as expected. it to, for a change.
Bellissimo! I am the People's Vulcan. I am the People's Vulcan. You are one juicy meatball. Somebody touch my spaghetti. Attack middle lane. Attack right lane. Attack the Titan. You playing well is like a good filet mignon. Rare.
Well, you'll get Vulcan, his tenderizer, and all that available in the next patch. Now, just so you guys know, this skin will be discounted. I've got here. Only
Salve,
for the
Felipe
duration of
Alves.
5/16.
É queijo, depois você
So as
tomar
soon as this
uma...
patch comes out, get your Vulcan skin straight away, and you'll get yourself a nice little discount.
Porra, é essa,
And then
Zagozzi?
so as
Que
well,
medo.
you Can run round with pizzas.
Yeah, and
today.
thanks for the
Você
community
faz
for
isso?
helping me
Que
write this
absurdo.
because it's like 95% community written.
Sirius deve
Everything.
ganhar
All
essa.
the time.
Tomara que eu ganhe
purely
essa,
for
né?
Yeah.
community.
I snuck
Da
in
última
some,
vez não deu muito
allied
certo, o pessoal ficou falando.
into it too,
Oh,
so-
really?
This is definitely.
Vou nem
community
discutir, vou nem
level.
entrar no
I'll
assunto,
have to
tá
listen
ligado?
to that for sure. I did hear
Yes,
one or two
sure.
for I landed there.
Vou ficar quieto.
Moving on then to Titanium Tracker Jubalong.
Falaram quanto vai custar, não.
Is the next one on the list today. Now this is one of these styles that we've been doing a little bit more of here and there. I
What
feel
the
like
fuck,
it goes kind of with the Odin and the Zeus skin we've released recently. It's kind of like making that sort of.
So this is kind of very similar to those, but this
Yeah.
we add a little bit of fashion on top of it to try to like just add a little more flavor for this one. So it's kind
Batata
of like
palha
a
é pecado,
modern
só serve
ninja, so It's
estrogonofe.
got like some well,
Boa tarde,
basically
Francisco.
futuristic one, but it's got
Sure.
some modern kind of clothing, some like techie stuff, but then it's also
Somebody
cyborg.
touch my spaghetti.
Why the scarf out of interest? Like, the
Touch.
scarves are really interesting. 'cause
Touch,
it's like
né?
the only one person I've ever associated
Somebody
with the
touch
scarf
my
has always been
spaghetti.
Naja. You know, 'cause it's the
Ah, yeah.
sash, but with
It,
this,
it,
I like
it helps
the flow.
exaggerate like the movements, right? Like ninjas, like the scarf stuff just really helps sell kind of the flow when you do animation and stuff like that. So we thought it was cool.
Você acha que é o que? É um Beautiful Joy? O que é isso?
Cool pattern going down it.
Mhm.
É o Beautiful Joy?
And the bowlers too.
Yeah, they're more like shurikens now.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
poison darts on top of that. I love the blue.
Acho que é inspiração no Beautiful Joy, não é?
Exactly. And of course the ultimate too.
E aí, Zero.
All the effects at the end are nice.
The little
Lovely.
grid walls. Yeah,
Yeah.
very cool.
That's sick.
Salve Douglas Walker
Okay,
Warler.
that's good. We'll move on to the voice pack then for it. You guys were not very
Seja
talkative
bem-vindo.
during that one at all. Like
We want the fans to hear
you
the
would
stuff.
okay. See, that's what happens
They
because everyone's like,
always say,
no, shut
"Let
up
us
so we
hear
can
the
hear.
voice
O
of
que
our-"
você tem de maestria com todos os seus gods eu tenho com o Shibalank. Nem tem.
Let's have a
nunca
listen
vi.
to that voice pack.
Woo! Attack left lane. Attack right lane. Attack the Titan.
Tô achando essa skin muito parecida com o Beautiful Joy.
Woo! Top notch.
Principalmente ele tem uma capa, ó, ele tem uma capa ali. O capacete dele parece muito com o Beautiful Joy.
You thought you could stop me by yourself.
Tô achando que eles estão se inspirando.
How do I pick up women? Cross a ninja. Same as women. You just throw them over your shoulder. But you should never cross a ninja.
That was two voice lines together, guys. Don't get
What is a ninja's favorite drink?
Oi, Gods of Wind. Eu não tenho como adicionar ninguém no Smite, cara.
Now, moving on swiftly after that.
Meu-
Tina, that was something to do with you for sure.
Minha lista de amigos tá
Raven
full.
ISIS, the masquerade ball is here.
This card art is cool.
Vamos ver a skin da
Yeah, the
Isis.
card's really great.
And in game, it
ISIS.
actually looks really solid too, like with how this has come together here. So, what's it? Obviously, the theme is a masquerade ball here, right?
Yep.
And what was the
Oi,
like?
Gabriel
inspiration
Silva,
behind
boa
this? Where
tarde.
do we get the idea from? Is it because like?
Não
she's a
curto essa
really
voz
good girl
robótica.
anyways, our ISIS.
We saw the you know, the wing she has.
Mas ele é um
you know,
robô,
with the
entre aspas, ele tá de
like, wouldn't it be
capacete.
something really cool to have?
Quais skins já mostrou e falaram da era? Não falaram da era, já mostrou
So
skin
we started coming some cool
do
designs
Vulcano,
and
de Shibalank
so,
agora. Vai mostrar da Isis.
Kiana Ham, she worked on it.
O que eu não gosto da skin da Isis, eu espero que isso seja que a skin seja isso daí. Eu não quero que ela tenha aquele adorno aqui, ó.
Yeah, ISIS actually
Eu espero
is
que a skin
portrayed
seja
as
assim,
the
sem
goddess
aquele
of
adorno, porque aquele adorno lá torna ela muito feia. Ah, legal, só
Yeah, thanks to these
aparece.
abilities, you'll be able to see some moons involved in them, that's for sure. Obviously, that's a Wingus too, but
Ok,
looks like planets there. I know the two, definitely the Spirit Ball looks
menos mal.
like a giant.
Achei legal a
I had a
skin.
look and see
Boa
that.
tarde, Alexander. Alexandre.
Yeah.
That
Huge
little
moon
note.
event.
Que aquele adorno ia deixar ela muito zoada, se ela tivesse aquele adorno sempre lá.
It's gonna
And
get
the
that
moon
review as
pops
well.
up again.
That's exactly what it is. Obviously, it has silence too. Don't know, it's a protection shred. It also gives it to herself. Very OP ability. And finally, the ultimate. Is that staff in the middle she's got there?
Yeah, she actually deploys her staff
Oh, that's
for her
cool.
ultimate and she leaves it there. So.
So actually throws the staff
Yeah,
down.
so she doesn't hold her staff right now.
Oh, and the
until-
staff disappears. Yeah,
Yes,
that's really cool.
Until it's done and it comes back.
Yeah, the animations have really changed because like some of the old school animations we see from season 1, season 2,
Oh,
like
yeah.
they'd still have the spear in the hand or whatever, and now like it actually goes away
Yeah,
during those
each
segments
patch,
too.
man, we're trying to go back and revisit these old gods and really up the quality on them.
Well, this Raven Icy skin will be available in the next patch. Let's have a listen to that voice pack that comes along with it.
Attack left lane.
Vai me dar essa pro
Attack
Xbox,
right lane.
se eu ganhar.
Defend. Fabulous.
Que adorno. É porque ela, tipo, quando ela bate as asas, ela ganha aquela auréola. Sei lá o que é aquilo ali, aquele negócio que ela ganha aqui, entendeu? Eu pensei que nessa skin ela seria permanente. Porque, tipo, no normal ela não é permanente também. Ela é assim. Aí quando ela bate as asas, ela ganha, entendeu? Só que nessa skin eu pensei que ela seria permanente. Falei, sei lá, vai que eles vão lançar ela permanente. Mas não. A skin é assim mesmo, entendeu? Como é ela normalmente.
We do have a
There is
VXG
a
for this.
VXG for this?
Você acha que alguns deuses merecem rework de habilidades? Com certeza.
Oh, she's riding the moon!
So the stars,
Valeu, God of the Wind. Eu faço amistoso direto, cara.
Team killed him, this
Às
one.
21 horas. Olha
Look at the
que
stars
legal.
in the sky.
It's done by
Yeah.
Mel.
It's really cool.
Does,
She sits
does
on
that
the moon.
skyline change for
Eu faço
everybody? Kind of
amistosos
like
às
the
21
Anubis
horas.
skins do when they use the
I
ultimates?
believe everyone should be able to see that.
That's cool. Alright, that looks really different. It's like a nighttime version of Conquest there. And that happens in every game mode too, I guess, so. That's really cool.
Whoa. That is really cool.
I could almost just watch that for a few minutes quite
I want
happily.
to see
there.
her from the front. Pawn, can we see her from the front, please?
She waves at you.
Yeah.
Será que quando ela usa isso daí o inimigo também vê assim? Seria muito da hora, né? Mas não.
Oh, she's like the Queen of England. Hello, lovely
Seria
day.
pay to win essa
Don't
skin.
mind me sitting on my moon.
That's
the way it's
really
going to be.
cute. Yeah.
All right, next up then. Have we gone through everything here? Yeah, we did. I would just make sure. I've not done skins in a while. I'm like, have I
Good,
forgot
man.
something?
You're doing great.
Oh, this is one of my
The
favorites.
Admiral is upon us.
This is pretty crazy.
This dude's pretty badass.
Has arrived. What is that golden dragon in the background? I'm sure we'll get to that in a
Sure,
minute.
it's a dragon.
It's a
It-
dragon.
yeah,
Okay,
I
that's
don't
good.
know.
I'm just making sure.
You see the dragon head
So
right
he's still using a rapier. I was having this conversation about Pompon earlier about whether or not it was, a different weapon to do with pirates or cutlass. But obviously cutlasses are a little bit curved. So
He's
it's not
not
the
really a
case
pirate though.
here. Is he not?
No.
You're right. You're right. He's an admiral.
He's a good guy. Yeah.
It was an evil Ao Kuang that it would be a pirate ship Ao Kuang.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's an admiral. It's a good
This is
guy.
like
Okay.
his
Você quase deu com os kits mais ultrapassados dos mais. Falei entre primos.
Cara,
Cara, agora no momento eu não sei te dizer. Eu tenho que fazer uma análise, pegar o jogo, abrir os personagens e te mostrar ali, cara. Porque no momento agora fica difícil falar isso. Fica assim pra todos, assim como a Tier 5 do Anubis e o Fogo do Hades.
Colors are obviously, blue instead of
Yeah,
red.
yeah,
but
yeah.
É, o problema é que o mapa fica escuro, né?
all those dragons are so pretty.
Vai ficar zoado isso,
skins
cara.
that much, but like certain animations and stuff, I'm like, I like these.
Sirius acha que é o Tibalank muito OP? Não, acho que é o Tibalank é legal, mas não é OP não.
Let's do it.
I mean, it's
Quais
just
que
a
tu vai
different
sortear?
style
Hoje vai
of
ter sorteio da
dragons,
skin
you
dos Janos.
know?
Às 18 horas. Já
Yeah.
chega aí pra você poder participar,
There you
entendeu?
go.
Oh my god, he's on a boat!
He's on a boat.
And he's on the
The
boat.
fuck, vira um
Right in the
barco.
front.
He's like on the front of the boat.
Vira um barco.
If you get this skin, guys, you just gotta play Lonely Island on cooldown the whole time. When you go
We were
around.
gonna put that
It's
in the
such a
in the
great
sound
skin,
effects.
dude.
We thought it'd be trouble if we did.
I just want you all to realize as well that this is our very first pay-to-win skin. As you land in this boat form, it does do triple damage because it is a boat crushing into you. So that is what you'd expect. So
Yeah, we were super excited to find something thematic for the skin that's not a dragon, right?
Sure.
Just another dragon. So
I
he's
mean,
an
what
admiral, put him on
It
a
looks
boat.
really cool in the
technically,
sky.
it's a dragon boat. It's got a
It
dragon
has a
head.
dragon
in it,
front.
So
Yeah, we had to redo the entire set of animation for this jersey.
Eu viro um
Killed it
barco.
on it, and
this skin looks
felt
absolutely
totally
amazing.
cool.
This skin looks really, really
Really
fun.
Eu tenho o
Let's
poder
have a
de
little listen
virar
to
um
this voice
barco.
pack.
Eu sou um barco.
Attack left lane.
Eu
Attack
sou
right
um
lane.
barco.
Attack middle lane. Defend.
Eu sou um barco.
Spectacular. You're commander material. Call me Admiral. You can try and commandeer my ship. Emphasis on try. Pirates are never welcome on board. So I was eating alphabet soup and all of a sudden I found all 7
Mas essa skin eu vou virar uma Kombi, com certeza.
I was waiting for it. Where's the hook?
Oh my goodness. For those who are confused in chat right now as well, we played the song I'm on a Boat. It's not in the game, chat. Stop being...
Obrigado pelo roast, Cuca.
That's the politest word I could use on air right then of silly. The
E aí,
production
Sr. Flávio, já começou faz
as the
anos.
skin came out.
No.
385 anos, pra ser mais preciso.
When really,
It's not in
no. Copyright laws
Lembrando que às
don't
18 horas tem live
protect
stream, vai ter sorteio de skin, vai ter tudo bonito.
Ever watched Harlock Space Pirate? I think it's called Harlock Space Pirate.
Ontem eu pedi pra me ajudar com a build bracer do Cronos, mas acabei esquecendo. Tem como ajudar hoje? Pode ser na live das 18?
Okay, so we did the voice line for that, and he's also been in.
Porque eu vou ter que encerrar essa daqui assim que terminar esse patch note.
See, I don't watch that much anime or cartoony stuff, so I don't.
Como está atualizações das divindades? Como assim, impacto? Você tá falando patch note agora aqui? Mais ou menos.
Pixar kind of, but darker.
Okay, and that's the same voice.
I think it's based on anime though.
Yeah, I think so too.
2 more skins to go, boys and girls. Let's move it along then to Heat Sink Pele.
Vamos
This
ver a da
looks really good. I mean,
Pele.
she's only just come out. and she's
Faz
already
tempo
got
começou
this
sim, às
badass
16
skin.
horas.
So what's the idea behind this one?
Ele não vira um barco, ele fica na proa, que nem a skin da minhoca de areia. Ah, tá. É porque eu não vi ele mesmo. Eu tô meio bêbado.
I like the
Então,
addition
mas eu vou
of
observar
visor.
depois.
Just the
Obrigado
visor
por me
being added
avisar.
to it just makes it a little bit more so of like more interesting. You could have not had the visor, but I don't think it would have sold it as well. You know.
It's hard to do visors. They cost more material wise. We don't have visors everywhere, so we went the extra mile with this one.
Love the look of this skin. It looks absolutely.
And we made sure that in this one, like usually she has a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
We try to really make it a little bit played down, so that when she does have that.
Já teve novo herói? Não.
hit,
Ainda. Acho que não
like,
vai ter
you'll
hoje, não.
see it really flare up.
They look great.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I've still not learned the ability names for Pele yet, so I'm not going to go through them, boys.
A partir de amanhã esse patch vai estar no
But I
PTS,
do
eu
know
acredito
that
que
does a
sim.
lot of damage and knocks.
These effects are so cool.
It looks really good. It's almost a completely
sounds,
different
the
Pele
sounds are
already.
getting me right there, man.
It's such a departure from the original Pele, who's like organic and.
And that's why I'm so
Very
surprised with it
nature-themed.
being so new as well.
Yeah.
Like, we don't normally do such big changes to it so quickly, but this looks amazing. That's obviously a speed steroid, the extra damage. And of course, it's going to have the ultimate too. Just see it ticking away those little.
A
sparks
Sky.
connecting.
Será?
The trail's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That was the wrong way, Pon. You want to aim it at people. There we go.
Whoa.
It's like a giant thunderstorm. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Boom. That's cool.
That is really cool.
Legal.
What do you want to do first? Voice pack or I heard it's got a VXG.
It also has a VXG.
What do you prefer?
Let's go ahead and do the
Yeah,
VXG.
Oh.
Okay.
So this is really cool. So our animator Ali, who worked
Tem
on this, kind of
emotezinho
pitched
ainda.
the idea of free line skating.
Parece uma
I didn't
sombra.
really know was a thing,
Que
and
isso,
then
que absurdo.
it looked really
Que
cool on it.
absurdo,
So
cara,
it's a
Deus.
rollerblade.
So she's
but
kind of taking a
it's
blade
single
to
Galera,
wheel.
muito obrigado pelos likes na live do YouTube aí. Me
Why don't you just do
ajudando
that
pra
all
caramba.
Yeah.
Oh my god, there's going to be pizzas everywhere and
Yeah.
moons
What a
and now
patch,
This
right?
patch just
skating.
has VXGs everywhere, man.
Everyone's getting
That is-
VXGs.
Sei que a
This
gente
is
pode
really cool.
mais
It's
ainda. A
actually-
gente
it's
tem
actually really
162
relaxing
likes
to
e
watch her,
270
like, glide
pessoas. A gente pode chegar a
everywhere.
200
To be honest,
tranquilo.
if you just saw it
250,
recording
já
your eye
pensou
running
que
through the jungle,
loucura?
you might
Look,
think it
and
was
you can use
nausea.
your speed buff with it.
Yeah.
The skate,
This
yeah.
is two najas.
Parece com a sombra, é
Yeah,
sacanagem.
I've got two
Polêmicas.
references to it.
It's good.
Maybe he's getting a buff.
Aquela skin do Vulcano é
Well, let's
da
move
parada
on
de
to
ganhar
the voice
PP?
pack for the Pele skin
Eu
before we
acredito que
move
vai
on to
ser
the
sim,
final skin
ô
we've got
Michael
to show you
Martins, mas eu não
today.
tenho certeza.
Attack left lane. Attack right lane. Attack! Attack the Titan! Defend! Woot woot woot! You are pretty alright. Absolutely legendary. Aren't I just the best? Do not get on my nerves. My anger is quick and explosive. This thing is covering a lot of my face, right? So how does rain still get in my eye? Money doesn't buy happiness, but it buys so much other stuff.
It's got a very stern voice to this one, hasn't it? Where she's very serious about it, but at the same time,
Tá rindo igual
when things are going well, she'll be
maldito.
happy.
Yeah.
Is what you look forward to in that. That's Heatsink Pele. That'll be available in the next patch, and last, but certainly not least, you've all been waiting for it. It's finally here. It's the new Tier 5 skin, Divine Dragon.
Veremos a da Belona
This is
finalmente.
the ultimate reward from the Divine Uprising. Wow. We've already seen little clips of this. I'm really excited. I've not actually seen it in game myself yet.
Sim, a gente já viu, mas a gente vai ver de fato, né?
And I believe it changes based off stance, right?
Yeah.
Achei bosta.
On the ability
That's
that you
crazy.
use.
Yeah.
So let's
So
take
tell
a
me
moment.
through the design choices of what we
Cronos
went
vai ganhar a
for
skin do
and,
Odisseia. A gente não
what
sabe
was
se no
the
Odisseia vai ter
reason
skin do Cronos, ainda não foi anunciado.
So the whole
Como faço pra jogar amistoso? Falei, Nels, tem que ser na live stream mais tarde, começa às 18 horas. Aí às 21 horas a gente vai fazer amistoso, entendeu? Lá no StreamCraft.
Okay.
Works for. So you'll see as we go through the different types, there's like a hammer one, there's like the whip, and they all kind of have different colors and different themes to be like an avatar for these different dragons.
Yeah. She looks dope.
You can just put Ares in that right now and feel at home as well. Oh, it's hammer time.
This one's a favorite.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, upon slow-mo, letting you just absorb.
Yeah.
Yeah,
all
sometimes
the
you don't need
detail
words.
work.
Just
Yeah,
watch the animations and see
there's
how
so
amazing
much
it
work
looks. I
that
love
went
the
into
flaming
like all
hammer.
3 different
Yeah,
models
dude.
here, and
That's
more.
his favorite one.
Yeah, this is my favorite.
My favorite's green.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Your favorite's green.
My favorite's green.
Which one's green? I've always seen
Green's
blue and red.
flail.
Oh, it's
That one.
Scourge time.
Esse 5 desse ano vai ser do Ares
It
mesmo,
reminds me
vai.
of a dragon. And she's really horny. Horns.
Horns are always important.
Yes, he has
To
horns.
signify
those
dragons.
horns.
Plenty
That's
of
what it's
horns.
going to be.
So we try to make sure that each of the visuals of each of these felt appropriate for like the like there's the whip's like more fast and like.
Tá parecendo que as pessoas de RPG coreano
More critical strike kind of feel.
League of Angels.
She felt like a little more nimble and
Aquelas coisas League of
but still like
Angels.
had like
Baixa
shapes on
agora.
her. With the shield and stuff, we want to go with more of like a traditional kind of like armored
fazer o quê?
warrior kind of person, and then with the hammer, we wanted to make sure it felt really kind of
meaty,
just real aggressive.
Yes, meaty.
Yeah, she has
Big
a full
hits, big
helm.
swing.
It doesn't show the
Yeah.
face.
God, those just on their own, that's amazing how quickly they transform fluidly as well.
Yeah. There was a lot of work put into making that happen too.
I can imagine that's probably the difficult thing, because like such a quick animation to be able to make it turn and look good as it turns.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's only one facet of it, right? I mean, tech art, like Chris Miller and Jeff, like, on that team, those two guys really helped carry it home.
Oh yeah.
I love the little mark of the scourge with the disarm too. You can just see like the green effect that connects with them too, which is awesome.
It's my favorite one.
Gives you an idea of that as well.
Okay, so she's got this ability.
All right,
It's
all right.
so
She's got
dope.
this
Get ready.
Is this the
because
ult
this
already?
is pretty cool.
Vamos ver a ultimate dela.
Oh, on
It's
the
a dragon.
ultimate, she summons a dragon.
That's right.
Começa a dropar seu FPS do nada.
That's just gonna be in the sky the whole time the ult, so that's great.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
can
that's
see
the
it
other-
from like everywhere. It's really cool.
Well, you know when Bellona's ult's down, then I guess that's gonna help in a lot of ways too. As the eagles really wow.
Yeah, it's fun.
Fun, you're
Oh my
trying to
god,
break
he's
on
just
the-
having
dragons
like
are in the sky.
Oh
so
my God.
much fun.
You can't do this in game.
You can actually do
just
this
Yeah,
in
for you
game.
guys at home, not really gonna happen. Maybe if you play one of the infinite cooldown
But
modes that are available now and again.
You can summon a dragon that you can do.
There may be a
what?
VXG.
Oh,
There may be
Maybe.
a VXG.
another VXG?
You just
on
spoiled
another
it
skin?
before we get to it, Tina.
Oh,
What
sorry,
the heck?
I'm sorry.
We're still looking at the ultimate.
There you go.
Oh
So you actually summon a dragon
no way!
for the VXG that flies around the map.
Wait,
and then
what?
it can disappear.
It just flies around.
Olha,
Fly the
Yeah,
map.
so
All
watch.
maps.
olhando esse dragão voando pelo mapa assim,
You have to hear this giant dragon's roar.
a Hi-Rez podia fazer algo assim com o Smite, né? Tipo, acho que se o jogo fosse na Unreal 4 seria mais simples e mais interessante.
Kind of like the Gold Fury when
A
you- when it
Erinha
spawns,
ficar
right?
voando pelo
That's
mapa
crazy.
enquanto, sei lá,
That works in
enfim.
every game mode too, obviously, yeah.
Acho que seria muito da hora.
I really
Ela
get
chega,
it.
né? Ela chega
It's
voando,
nice
giga
you
de
guys
fogo
do this
chega
stuff
caindo
now,
do
because
céu
I'm like,
e tal. Mas
okay,
seria
so not only
interessante
gonna
ter
have
algumas
these
coisas
gods all about
interativas assim, só
we're also
visuais,
gonna
né?
have these other mythical
Interativas
creatures
visualmente
flying around
acontecendo,
the map.
além das
Right?
estruturas,
And it's like,
sabe?
oh well, I lost the fight on the
Sei que
ground,
muita
but at
gente
least
não
my
conseguiu
Pokémon in
rodar,
the sky
mas
did
seria
well.
legal com o
That's the
Smite,
main
cara.
thing.
Umas
This
coisas
game,
épicas
oh.
assim acontecendo.
What's next on this? The voice
That
pack then, I
view, though.
guess.
Eu gostaria de ver.
Yeah.
She has 3 different
What?
personalities.
Really?
Yeah, she has 3 different voice packs.
So each time she's
Attack
in.
left lane.
O
Attack
mapa ele é
right
muito
lane.
estático, né?
Attack the Titan. Yes! Proud of you. Ha! Attack left lane. Yes! Proud of you. Attack left lane.
Someone's lying to me because I don't hear 3 different voice packs right now, Tina.
You have to play like abilities and
Eles podiam baixar o preço das gemas. Que isso? Que isso?
Try the jokes and the taunts, Pom
Yeah,
Pom.
do the taunts, Pon.
Get it right, Pom Pom.
Eu apoio a mudança climática na partida. Mesmo que não seja climática, mas
Resistance is futile, mortal. Why are dragons large?
podia ter um momento, sei lá, enfim,
Scaly.
que o mapa ficasse mais de dia ou mais de noite também. Mesmo que não seja a mudança climática, por exemplo, né? Porque se você for olhar a mudança climática, poderia ter neve, poderia chover e tudo mais.
Sometimes I wonder if
Eu acho que isso daria muito lag pra galerinha, né? Mas não, é uma questão só de iluminação também já ajudaria um pouquinho, né?
And I'm ready for war.
Now this skin comes from the Divine
Seria legal,
Uprising,
né?
which has been the event that everyone's been doing
Correct.
for. And
Porque a skin muda, ela é tier
If you
5.
buy, if you purchase all 3
A
chapters,
skin
you
tier
get
5 ela
this.
muda.
Okay, so all you have to do is purchase all 3 chapters and you're done. You can just get the skin. That's great. That dragon is so insane.
Hey, don't miss it. This is an amazing skin.
I just don't know what to say about this pack because there's so many good skins.
Não,
here, I
subir
don't
nas
even
coisas
know
eu
which
acho que
one's
já
my
é
favorite
impossível,
right now.
é.
I'm kinda sold on
Que a física do
Admiral,
Smite ela não
I'll
proporciona
call it.
isso. né?
Whenever I hear Admiral, I'm always going
É
to say
isso,
Agbar, I can't help it.
I mean, he
trap,
can
you know?
say, yeah, he can lay traps
But I mean,
for you.
like, he's got a boat, but then Ballona's got dragons now.
Yeah.
And then Vulcan's got meatballs and
pizzas.
And
Yeah.
pizzas. It's a rough
Every
situation.
skin, every
Yeah.
VXG, it's worth it, man.
It's crazy. Favorite skin?
Go
Oh,
ahead.
the T5.
Yeah.
It's got
Come
to be the
on, are you
T5.
kidding?
Yeah,
That's
I knew
3
that.
skins in one.
I think Chef Vulcan, honestly.
Chef Vulcan.
Oh, Chef Vulcan.
I'm all about Bologna, man.
It's
That
all about
dragon.
Bologna.
I
The
just want
dragon.
some of that dragon VXG.
São essas
Chef
skins,
Vulcan
né?
also has an announcer pack.
I forgot to mention that.
Yeah, he
So
also has
before
an
we
announcer
go,
pack.
the
So
last
I
thing
wrote one
mention
for
is
you
there's
guys.
going to be an announcer pack alongside the Vulcan skin, right? So you
Yeah,
guys
it's in the
can get
it's bundled.
the interesting Chef Vulcan announcer pack with that too, as well as the Jeff and Barry.
Obrigado, pessoal, pelo like. 188
That's
likes.
all we've got time for
260
today.
pessoas assistindo a live stream.
Patch should be out
Muito obrigado mesmo, pessoal do
on
YouTube.
Tuesday.
Fora os 90 que
Yeah,
estão na
we-
Twitch também. Muito obrigado
Yeah, yeah.
pela
And the PTS will
presença.
be out relatively soon.
Tem mais algo?
Social
Agora a
media.
gente vai ter o
Social
anúncio
announcement is
do
that
pack
we're
de
gonna
7
tonight,
mil
just in
gemas
case
por
it's not.
R$5,
Generally try and get
tempo
all the weekends as well.
limitado.
That's it though from everyone here on the Casual Set and the update show. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time for some more action and adventures. We'll see you later. Have a good evening.
Brincadeira, gente. Não vai ter, não. É mentira, tá? Tô zoando. Obviamente. E é isso. Esse foi o Patch Note 5.16. O que vocês acharam? Vocês gostaram? Vocês não gostaram? A gente teve skins, Vulcano, Pele, Alquang, Isis, Shibalank, Bellona. Tivemos alguns nerfs e buffs. Nerfs no Agni, no Aput. Buff no Poseidon. Poseidon foi buffado. A Morgan tendo alguns remendos ali. Tivemos um item novo, que não foi lá grande coisa. Mas depois a gente vai analisar melhor esse patch quando ele tiver escrito tudo direitinho. E vamos ver o que dá pra fazer com as novidades. O que o escudo novo dá? Ele dá dano, defesa física e velocidade de ataque. Além disso, você acertando inimigo com ataque básico primeiro, ele vai roubar 1%, vai dar, né? Não é roubar não, ele vai regenerar 1% da vida e mana. Os seguintes são 0,5% de mana e HP. E é isso. Galera, esse daí foi o Patch Note 5.16. Eu vou voltar às 18 horas para fazer a live stream normal, jogando Smite. Vou jogar a nova aventura, vou fazer as coisas maravilhosas que a gente faz aqui todo dia. Vai ter sorteio hoje. Então, se você quiser participar para ganhar a skin do Janus, já fica ligado, às 18 horas a gente começa a live stream. Às 18h10 eu já crio o sorteio e aí a gente sorteia durante a live stream, beleza? Se tudo der certo, se tiver gente suficiente, eu também faço um sorteio da skin do Janus lá no Streamcraft às 21 horas, quando a gente fizer o amistoso e estiver jogando, tá? Obrigado a todo mundo que assistiu, obrigado a todo mundo que deu like no YouTube, o pessoal que deu subscriber aí no Twitch, Kevin William, o pessoal que assistiu pela Twitch, o Zagoza, vou ficar pedindo metinhas, não vou dar. E a gente se vê